So I got some good news for you. I've got another leaked training out for you today. My team worked me over yet again, and I said, you know what? Let's serve it up here to the public. And so this one is an exact training on who to hire and when to hire them. In all my years of coaching, I've got so many questions over the years, people asking, how do you know when you're ready to hire a technician? Or how do you know when you're ready to hire that office manager, or production manager, or salesperson? I've hired them all over 8 years of scaling up my very own cleaning business and getting it acquired this last year. And I've learned exact points of the business when it is time to hire. Is that full-time, part-time? I thought, you know what? Let's put it all inside a training. This is pulled right out of our operations engine inside our HSBC Accelerator program, and I'm making it available to you today. And truthfully, it's my goal that you see one of these trainings and you're like, holy smokes, this guy knows what he's talking about. I want a shortcut. I want to collapse time. I should probably get in and join our HSBC Accelerator. Or if you want that one-on-one hands-on coaching, then go ahead and check out our Scaling Blueprint program. I'll link them up for you both here below. But regardless, whether you join us for private coaching or not, you're going to get some incredible value for you today, because our goal is make the content so good that people come into our world here at Home Service Business Coach. They read all of our over 170 Google reviews and say, goodness me, these guys, these girls, they've got it going on. I want to learn what it's all about. So go ahead and check us out if you want to learn more. But get ready to take some notes on this one, because I think it's going to serve you a ton of value. And drop a comment for us down below. Tell me what you think.
So it's time for a really simple training to bring clarity around who to hire and when to hire for your business. Now, before we deep dive this document, I do just want to say every business is going to be different. So this will change a little bit based on where your business is exactly. However, this is a nice general framework to know, yeah, like what Dave's saying, I'm generally in that ballpark, and that gives me like a lot of confidence. So let's go through these steps here together. So the first one, okay, who to hire, when to hire, is going to be a part-time office admin. Okay, this is what we get implemented with a lot of our foundations members in the course of working with us. Okay, so typically your revenue here is going to be around 100K to 200K. Again, maybe you're at 70K or you're at 220K, like whatever it is, we're generally in that range. You want to remove yourself as the owner from doing a lot of these administrative tasks. Okay, they're necessary to the business, but they are not necessary to the business owner's daily schedule. Okay, so these tasks would be helping with inbound calls. Okay, if you're the business owner and the phone calls are running to your personal phone, we need to switch that up. It's an uncomfortable feeling, but it's a necessary one to grow. Okay. Scheduling in-person estimates. Okay. If you're going out to do the quotes as the business owner, awesome. But it'd be ideal if you had an office administrator who could book those in-person estimates for you with a really good phone script. Okay. This is all possible. Sending out small estimates. Okay. Maybe you're not quoting everything in person, but there are some estimates that could be quoted, maybe small gutter cleans over the phone, or small fill in the blank service, right? It's totally possible an office admin could do that. Managing your company email, doing invoicing, calling accounts receivable, taking deposits, making outbound calls, even post to social media, right? I know that's a bit of a lateral moving from office to marketing, but it's an administrative task, right? You can work with a software company too to like put your post on autopilot. But you know, I would suggest if you're looking for hours for an office admin, you could put the social media into his or her lane. And how many hours a week, Dave? Up to you, but I would say something around a 20-hour a week position, 15 to 20 hours. I would do it 3 to 4 hours a day. And get your feet wet. And to give a quick, like, again, magic number, I know we love numbers in this program, about 5 to 7% of your revenue can go to an office administrator, so long as they're awesome, right? So for this 100 grand, let's say we're doing 200 grand, I would put aside $10,000 to $14,000. That's going to go, like, that's not a small amount of money, but you're buying back 20 hours a week of your time that you could go be a rainmaker and go sell more jobs. Okay. So that's like the first step. Keep listening to this training, but this might be one you want to go back and listen to and start over and be like, okay, I got to drill this in my head. Part-time office admin, and grow them up to full-time, right? As you cross over 400K times 7% is 28 grand. If my math is correct, like we're moving into that realm to be more full-time, again, based on where your market is. That can change a bit. Step 2, is the full-time technician. Okay. About 200 grand is a spot we hit our ceiling, right? We worked with some companies that get to 300 grand as an owner operator. Others are like at 100 grand. They're like, my window cleaning business is full, right? 10 grand a month. We're full. We need to hire someone. Cool. About 200,000 in annual revenue. So you want to find an absolute stud of a technician where him or her can go out and do the production of your services. This is going to remove the owner off the job site so that the owner can focus more on the sales and marketing of the business, right? Again, this is the necessary task in the business, but not absolutely necessary for the business owner. You may have built your business up to this point right now where you, the owner, need to be the one on the job site, right? We need to undo a lot of that, what has been done, and move you onto a new path, okay? You're running a customer service business that happens to provide pressure washing or painting or grass cutting, okay? We've just built this hub and spoke model. We need to undo some of that, and we need to open up your mindset for what's possible. You're the best person in fulfillment in your company right now because you've got the most reps in it, right? It makes sense. If you do something for a year or 2 years, you're going to get pretty good at it. We need to grow that next level of talent to pull yourself out of the field. And we've done this time and time again. So we're confident we're going to be able to help you do this. As uncomfortable as it is, you get a knot in your stomach, you feel a little bit sick, jobs are getting done and you're not there. That is a necessary uncomfortable state that we need to push into to move you to the next level. Okay. What got you here won't get you there. You got your business at 200 grand doing the fulfillment. Fantastic, right? You're in this program because you want more. You want to move this thing to 400K, 600K, $1 million, whatever it is. We got to remove you off the tools. And that happens at about 200K. Step 2 and 3 happen like pretty bam, bam. Okay. We need to get that second full-time technician going. Because if you're choosing to roll this 2 crew model, if you bring a technician in, great. The owner is kind of still on the job site. So we need to like prove that we can get someone going to learn from you. And then shortly thereafter, I would say within a month, we want to bring that next technician to them to join that full-time technician. Okay. And the goal is you have this crew to be self-sufficient in producing your services. Now, of course, you're going to have a job that comes up maybe once a week. That's like very technical and the owner knows you and you can't screw it up, and absolutely go out as a business owner to that site. But if we could get 80% of your services going without the owner having to be there, like this year, that would be like a huge win for a lot of members in the program. And once you get one crew going, getting that second one, like you've ran around the base path, you can go again, and you just gets, I don't want to say easier, but it gets more familiar and you more know what you're up against, right? It's like doing an interview for the first time. Oh, someone doesn't show up. Like for me, big deal. It happens hundreds of times, right? Someone doesn't show up. You're so excited. You get kind of like gut punch, right? Like it's 2 steps up. It's 1 step back, 2 steps up, 1 step back, but we're still moving forward. Okay. And step 4 comes that second full-time crew. Okay. Usually that first crew is going to be able to produce 200 to 300 grand for you, somewhere in there, right? We've seen higher where crews have done 400 grand or 500 grand. But again, generally, this is where you want to start thinking about it. That first crew is going to get us up to 250, 300. We need to bring on that second crew, especially for those of you running hyper seasonal businesses like April, May, June, July. We do a lot of our work, or for Christmas light businesses, right? October, November, December, you do a lot of the work. That's where your numbers can skew a bit. And you might be like, hey, I'm only doing 300K this year, but a lot of that 300K gets done in these 4 months. I for sure need to get that second crew going. Okay. So as your first crew becomes booked out at the 3-week mark, you want to look at getting that second crew on, because we found the 3-week mark kind of the sweet spot for customers to kind of like, okay, we'll wait for you to book in, versus like, we just want to get our windows and gutters clean and like, hey, we'll just go with the next company if they can come, this Friday type of thing. So you want to be able to keep up with demand, and you will be better equipped going through this hiring process. Like I said, once you've went through it once. And step 5 is really the production manager position. You don't need to be worried about this until you're really clipping past 400,000. Once you've got 2 crews going, 4 techs going, I love this part, right? You want to empower your technician who has the highest leadership capacity to start having other technicians phone in to him or her with problem solving. Okay. This will typically be your technician who like is great with customers, kind of your ride or die, like fits the core values. And then, they really have the eyes and ears of the business. Like as if you were there, they would generally make decisions how you would make them. And people look up to them, right? Of the 4 technicians, you're going to have one, I'll tell you, right? It's like an 80-20 rule. You get, 4 or 5 techs, you're going to have the one. You want to identify that person and you want to be grooming them into this production manager position to start turning their brain on to solving problems. Because when you get that third crew on the road, production manager time. Okay. Again, about 400,000 is kind of where, hey, we got 2 crews bumping along. We're in busy season. Let's start thinking who we can grow and develop for the long term. Because production's really where the money gets made in the business, but it's also where the owner's time really gets sucked in. So we want to put an absolute rock star as a stopgap from like production humming along here, goes to production manager, but doesn't break beyond here and gets to the owner. Some stuff will, of course, but again, that 80% of the time we want to solve for. And then last is step 6. Okay. You're going to want to get a sales consultant. We've coached companies that think they need a sales consultant when they're doing 200 grand. No, you don't. The business owner needs to be the best salesperson in the company originally to get the thing humming along to 200, 300, 400K. Once you getting up around 600 grand, I've got my crews going. I've got a stud in production that my crews can call upon. Perfect. I got strong lead flow going. But as an owner, man, I would say on my 40-hour work week, I'm doing estimates for customers like 25 hours a week. Perfect time to look at getting a sales consultant. And this is where I really get my painting businesses up to about 550, 600 grand. And it was tough for me, but I had to extract myself from doing those estimates and putting in a sales consultant. And again, it's a big war on your mind. Like no one can sell as good as the owner. You're right. No one probably can sell as good as the owner. So what I do is kind of hack this. We're going to keep the owner reserved for the big estimates, right? The 10, the 20, the $30,000 deals with the property managers or with those key decision makers. But the residential, we're going to train up a residential sales consultant, train them through your whole process, put them on a good position agreement, give them a good base plus commission, make sure they're bought in for the long term. Okay, so you want to look at hiring a sales consultant so the owner does not have to be the primary salesperson in the organization. And like I said, you want to have a base plus commission for hitting performance targets. And you really want to coach this person, make sure they're a fit with your core values, but also coach them on the services you do provide, teach them to be very goal oriented, grow their people skills within your company and invest into their training. And these last 2, like just to FYI, this is really where our growth program kicks in. The members that I work quite closely with is putting in a production manager, growing their technicians, putting in a sales consultant, and basically taking like a $500,000 business that has been through foundations. And then we're growing that up to $1 million. So if you're in foundations right now, I wouldn't stress like, man, I need a sales consultant right now, right? You might just be in busy season with a lot of leads coming in, and that just comes to a better setup call. You might not need a sales consultant just yet. But hey, in the next year or 2 years, I would be thinking 100% I want to get a sales consultant because it's such a freeing feeling when that cash register is ringing, when the owner does not need to go out and do that estimate. Okay. So you can hire a rainmaker within your company to go out and sell is fantastic. And let me tell you how fun business gets when you've got someone strong in production, as I do, and you have someone strong in sales and they start working together. The business just becomes so fun, but you got to build this foundation first. That's why we called it foundation. So we can build out part-time office, some technicians, get the business owner thinking about their business properly, and then we can ascend to these higher levels. So let me know in the comments, guys. I hope you like this, short and sweet, and you can go ahead and download the SOP of this below so you can print it off and have it for your records.